All right, and we are back again for another scene for Lost Cub, set in the proverbial, the metaphorical, the strangely literal Batcave. Not quite literal. Where where our protagonists reside, where Anton is woken fairly late in the day, if only because he got lovingly headlocked periodically to make sure that he got a proper amount of sleep. Where God knows when and where and what Trip is doing at any given time, really. We'll set this late enough in the day that people have had a chance to, to realistically be awake and be fed and be moving around. Excuse me. And for the sake of setting, let's swap out scraps here. You don't go in the house. Don't lie to me. There we go. Got a pretty good cast of people rolling around. Christine is ever present, but ever off focus. She's never right in the proverbial camera lens. She's usually on the edges, giving people space, watching, listening. She spends a lot of time in the library, though she does, come out like anyone else does to eat, to go to bed, to putter around or have a sit. But she's been pretty ace at keeping kinda to herself. Brigida is in and out, always able to hear her. She is the only person who stomps the same way Becca does. It's almost competitive, really. And once Anton is up and moving, Heidi will be flitting through the house, probably heading out to the back as it's late morning, getting on midday. Unless you guys would like to set it later, going out to do her cleaning. Just to say hello to the sun. It seems like a good thing to do. She likes doing it every day.
Yeah, eventually Anton is up and moving after consuming some level of food to keep himself sane. He'll go look for Becca and the elusive Trip. Probably bring Christine with him as well because she needs to learn. She needs to learn the business and she needs to see how business is operated. More of a teaching role she's going to be doing, observing definitely.
Oh boy!
So, but definitely looking for Becca and Trip specifically.
Somehow your sister has gotten even more hipster in the time in this big old building.
Of course,
got the satchel now to complete the look.
Complete the hat.
Yep, it matches the hat. Actually, I'll have you know. But of course, they're both kind of like that weathered leather, so they don't look too new because you can't have it looking all new. But yeah, she's got her bag, and she readily enough follows along because, let's face it, most of what she's had to contribute has been acting like a hermit in the library. As for Becca, not especially hard to find.
And for once, Trip isn't that hard to find because he's having eggs in the kitchen. A late breakfast, or an early one for him.
Anton just appears like the fucking shadow that he is. I need to talk to you, Becca.
Sort of like Lee looks up, big wide eyes, like me, half an egg in his mouth.
Yeah, come on. You got work to do. Bring your food.
And he brings his plate of eggs. But he doesn't bring his pants.
He doesn't bring his pants. God damn it, Trip.
It's morning, so he's just wearing a black hoodie, underwear, and a plate of eggs.
That's going to get really funny really fast.
So Anton leads the gang up. So Anton leads the gang, once he gets Becca up to his, the plan room, essentially. That's effectively what it is, really.
The conspiracy board.
So there's like boards with like Yeah, I mean, there's several. There's like the ones related to Sparrows, but this one is the new one, which is the Richmond operation. Essentially, that's what he's dubbed it.
Is it Richmond or Roanoke? Actually, I guess it would be
But
kind
it's
of.
the Richmond operation.
I see.
Yes, it would be. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, the Richmond operation. God.
Look, I had to check.
But,
Okay.
but he'll eventually turn. All right, so I think I've mentioned it before, but we are expanding operations, and we've got a lot of contacts now in Richmond, and they're planning to set up shop here. However, if we're going to do this right, we need to at least corner the percentage of trade coming in, because they're not just going to be opening a strip club. They're going to want to. They do a lot of drug runs too, so we're going to want to at least have an eye on it and a control over it. That way we can regulate the amount of spread of taint by controlling where it's coming from. Okay? Following me so far?
And the free
Kind of?
supply of drugs. Right?
Yeah,
That's why we're all doing this.
pretty much. They do a lot of business from, the strip clubs, but they also use the strip club as a place to redistribute drugs along the place, essentially. That's what they've been doing in Richmond. Now, I can get them to spread down to here in Roanoke, but the problem is that's a lot of what the Warmish people have been doing and a lot of where the big heavy taint comes from.
That's probably how they're laundering the money too.
Picks his fingers at Christine, like, yeah, pointing.
Yeah, she sets back, puts her feet up.
So, out of the two people I know best, you and you, pointing at Becca and Trip, have the best experience of how to run and distribute drugs.
I plead the fifth.
No,
But yes.
Should Trip.
So, what we're going to need to do is work out a believable route to get them down from Richmond here to Roanoke, but also provide additional either security or control. Now, the new strip club hasn't been set up yet. We're in the process of doing that, or at least trying to find a locale. But I want to see how well we can actually work this in.
Alright.
Now, we could go looking for the strip club now, but either way, we got to find a place that's A, believable, and profitable enough that will appeal to certain things. So we can't have it way out like we have the lockbox. It won't make any money. But we also...
Legit? We trying to do this legit?
No.
Okay.
Not really. Not really.
We'll find one that's already set up and have a hostile takeover.
Pretty much. It seems like the way that's going to be the quickest way to do it. If we try to do this legit, we'll be there for fucking months. Trying to get permits, trying to get all this sort of shit. The only logical way is if we do this hostile takeover style, we've already solved the problem.
Well, I might know a few places.
Nods.
No?
So what did you say, Kitty?
Yeah,
Becca rolling her head over, they own a decent side of town.
Do you know any decent strip clubs?
I mean,
Of course it is.
Place in Roanoke was high class. Made a lot of money. Wasn't like escort type shit, but it was, it's decent.
But you want to do a hostile takeover, you don't want the decent places, because the decent places actually have backup.
Mm-hmm.
No, more so.
You want the places run by some sort of fat 40-year-old redneck and his brother, right? Because they ain't got shit if we're gonna take them over. But you go after the decent places, you're gonna get the mob after you. And I can't really get caught up in that again, at least for a few years. I gotta play dead.
Ticking on her fingers. First off, you guys have such a ridiculous presence with the whole crow thing that, I mean, let's face it, is there actually another mob that even has any kind of presence like that in Roanoke? Do they really think they can hold a candle?
That's what I mean, yeah. That's what I was about to counteract with.
And, ticking on the second finger. If we do want to use it to launder drug money, the place needs to be making enough money on its own to make it believable that that extra amount is coming from the club.
Anton nods again, like, yep, nope, good.
Ergo, she ticks the third finger. It needs to be in a good enough side of town that it's going to attract high money clientele.
Well, I propose that me and Becca over here go on a scouting mission of all the decent strip clubs then. Huh?
I mean, it's a good idea, yes, but I also need you to start testing out, distances between here and Richmond. Essentially, we need to find out also who's got the big drug supply in Roanoke too, because we've been hitting people hard. But all I know is that me and Becca took out the one that was around the Natural Bridge area. I need to see who's the biggest in Roanoke, and we need to either take that over or put them out of business.
Actually, before we continue, I'm gonna check something real quick with Tristan here. God, it's weird using his real name. Okay, so he's got Streetwise 3. Could I do a Streetwise roll to see if he already knows maybe
You
who
absolutely
is
can.
the biggest? Yay. Oh, but I put mental as tertiary, right? I have all the Streetwise, none of the intelligence.
I have all the streetwise, but I'm an idiot.
You're not that
I
bad.
know everything about what's going on the street. Problem is, I'm dumb as a rock.
A 5-die pool isn't bad, especially for a fresh baby character.
3 successes if difficulty 6, otherwise 2.
Standard diff, so 3 successes. For 3 successes, Trip, I'm trying to remember how much they found you in Roanoke, didn't they?
Yeah, I want to say yes. He lives. He lives in a trailer park.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out how deep it would go. So for 3 successes and having grown up running drugs like Loki, you've probably got a pretty good grasp of. I mean, obviously, like immediate, like one step up competition, like people who are a little more organized or stretched across multiple neighborhoods, as opposed to like what you were doing, which was mostly small time stuff. But I mean, it got you some cash in your pocket, so it was all you really needed. You're probably aware of some larger groups. And you know what? I'll give you a wits alertness, and don't forget your crow dice, because it'll be funny.
Oh shit! What are my crow dice?
Plus
2 extra.
2 alertness.
Yes.
Oh,
because you're in the crow pack, you get +2 to subterfuge, +2 to alertness, 1 dot of etiquette.
Oh wow,
Care of his-
that's good because yeah. Okay, so that's alertness. Wits, you said. Wits. So 2 to sounds. Ooh. Okay, that becomes quite a pool.
Isn't it nice?
It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Beautiful.
Standard.
So you can think of a handful of gangs that had a decent presence or had the pull to do things cross city. But as you're sitting here and you're mulling on this, you're really thinking back over it because it's been a minute. You've been off the Roanoke streets for a while. You start to realize, you met Becca in an awkward kind of way, as if she was a competitor. And as you're thinking back over the descriptions, she is actually, in theory, she at least was a member of one of the groups that was actually able to have some pretty decent pool, had some pretty quality fucking product. And it's not that there was a huge mass of them at any given time, but she had a knack for showing up at the really big clubs and selling really high dollar shit. It's that weird epiphany of like, oh my god, you actually were. But yeah, you could probably think of several groups off the top of your head. There wasn't, if anything, the group that Becca was a part of at one point had like a stranglehold on the high end trade because they could produce mass quantities, and it was heavy shit. It was expensive, but they pretty much owned the market. Around time you got picked up, they were kind of fading out a bit, like there weren't as many of their dealers around. But you're putting two and two together that Becca was one of the dealers for that particular group. I mean, you haven't seen her since. She might still be, but...
So with his plate of eggs sort of turns to her like, well, didn't you used to run with the high-end guys?
Oh, yeah.
Still get in contact with them?
You blew them up. She grins.
Ah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, that still means you got cred in the street, right?
Oh yeah. Probably wouldn't be hard to let people think the whole thing was still going.
Well then, start flexing that name with our already established reputation in Roanoke. I imagine you'll have dealers lining up to work for you with the right product.
I'll get the word out in the street for the lower people.
Ain't nobody left to say otherwise. You could easily say the Crows was folded in. Let people think the two were tied up.
Yeah, just make it sound like we're the ones who took over. That's all. Establish the weight, the reputation at least.
Probably be harder to believe. Coming out of nowhere, taking over a group like that.
Considering what we've done.
Well, yeah. But is it easier to believe you've come out of nowhere and suddenly been that big, or that maybe you latched on with an existing group that had a lot of people and a lot of muscle?
True. But
Fake it till we make it.
I just shrugged. I do like the idea of creating ourselves as boogeymen, though. It's kind of fun, but whichever works.
Well, don't worry. We can do the whole rumor of a hostile takeover later. But first, we got to establish the two are connected.
Not.
And then some nasty rumors about maybe why they went underground so long. There was a coup.
Can I have a... wait, anyone want some eggs?
I'm assuming he didn't just like hard boil eggs. He actually has just a big mess on his plate.
He has several fried eggs on his plate, yes. Sunny
the
side up.
So next thing is we got to get supply. Because we can take over shit, but that shit coming from Richmond, well, we've got the guy to do it. So we need to iron out the details of where we're going to drop that off. Because we could start doing shipments and runs at a drop-off location, which I want you two to find before we set up the club. Let's get the business moving to show we're reliable, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she just leans over on the desk. What we could do if you didn't want to have to be shipping things so far that was easier to pick up. Go do some hostile takeover of our own. Either buy out or steal or bribe, offer protection to some of the cooks from other gangs.
That's a good idea. Great egg. I do like that. Make it happen.
A bit of a smirk.
Both of you find out reasonable cooks or get a list of them, and we'll walk in there with either a bag of cash or a shotgun.
Glance over to Trip. Even them small time shits, sometimes they get a real good cook. And what happens to them? Someone comes along from someone who's got a bigger game, bigger presence, buys them out.
Yeah, that happened to my uncle. But they didn't buy him out. They put 2 rounds in his head. But yeah, it's basically the same thing.
And he probably sent a little money.
Uh-huh.
Whatever money we're going to make out of this, you look over Christine. I want you to start figuring out ways we can legitimize it so people ain't going to be tracking too much. When this club gets underway, I want you to pump as much cash into it as you can.
Yeah, she offers kind of a shrug. Why is he at work? Initially, most of your money's probably going to go back into changing the place up, getting the materials, but about time you're actually laundering profits, if you've got the club set up and going well, if you've got a good way to jumpstart it so it starts making money fast. We just kind of gradually add it to the take from the strip club until it folds in and just looks like profits from the club.
Well, I want you to be the accountant on that and search around all these places. You're better at fasting, and Becca and Trip can move quicker on the street. I want you to start looking for these high-end places that we can take. And I mean take. None of this buying out shit. We're going to take it.
Are you planning to do that without complications?
It's easy. Smirking. I walk in there with my gang, and well, I take it.
I like that plan. It's simple. That's why it's going to work.
Point and guns, blackmail material. What are we talking?
Guns, blackmail material, any edge you can give me, anything at all, and I'll use it.
Yeah, sure.
Find the club that's high end first. We'll start watching it. We'll start gathering it. Probably about 2 weeks, 3 weeks of observation. Once we've got what we needed, then, well, we approach.
She does a little bit of a snapping gesture, the little with the point. If your guy's good enough, I mean, he wrote up that whole virus thing, right? We might be able to bug their security, get the footage off that.
Yeah, true. Well,
Gives us back material.
Does. So find the club that we need. And we'll get on it. We'll get William to do that technical shit, and then me, Trip, Becca, Jane, JJ, Jason will walk in there very calmly with the material, and if he says no, that's when it gets a lot more simpler than it needs to be.
Woot woot. I love criminal enterprise.
So, in the meantime, while Christine is working on getting us the club name, I want you two to start squeezing dealers that you can find. I want names of cooks, promising dealers on the low end, and also on the more exclusive end. Once we've got that, I want you to pitch the offer first. Offer the hand first before you come with the blade. If they refuse or spit at us, and then we make an example.
Truth be told, best way to find out about the cooks maybe to just go around buying up a little bit of product here and there, give it some testing, find out who's got the good shit.
No,
Go steal the cook.
I'll leave that to you. I'll leave that to both of your expertise.
Glance over to Trip. Like, yes, I would.
Big doofus grin. Yeah, big doofus grin on his face. It's like, this is what I like. All right, let's get to work then.
All right, just nodding, yeah, team. Ugh, do you know what I mean? Doesn't do the Power Rangers hand put in. We don't do that.
No.
No matter how hard Trip tries.
Just puts his hand in. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's that. Yeah, that's literally what happened. He puts down his eggs, still 1.5 on it with the fork, and then just like leans into the middle of the group with his fist bump, like, yeah, no.
Okay.
You guys have no idea how this gang criminal shit works, right? You gotta do the fist bump. Trust me, all the mafiosos are doing it.
All the mafiosos?
All the mafiosos.
All right. So realistically, you're kind of looking at like doing the street maps of Roanoke. What's the best place to start? And if we can even get this underway, we could probably drive down there now and start working.
I'm gonna do another roll to see what Trip thinks is the best place to start. 3 successes on that one.
3 successes. You remember some of the stuff, some of the bits about people, just the competition and whatnot, who had better product versus better numbers. Because when you're low end, I mean, you can only focus on one thing at a time. You could get a really good cook, but paying that motherfucker means you're not going to have shit left to fucking pay muscle. Or alternatively, you can have kind of crummy product, but have really a lot of guys to reinforce a certain amount of turf.
Really, really good corners to distribute and all that. You could have the best cook, but shit distribution, or you could have mediocre cooks, but the best distribution, usually, I imagine.
So I assume your role is to determine who had decent product?
Yeah, because it'll be easier to take over if they have shit distribution, and we are going to distribute anyway. So what we really need is the product now.
Yeah, quality versus quantity, definitely.
Yeah, we want quality, especially if we're going to build from the ground up. We're going to want people to. I don't know if I'm talking like Ras or talking like Trip now. I'm talking like Trip. Like you're gonna want something strong. Yeah, you're gonna want something that gets the people hooked. It doesn't matter if you got 25 people or 50 people who are just buying when they're bored on the weekend. You want the shit that hooks people, even if you only got 15. From there, they're gonna keep you in business because they're loyal customers. Addicted customers are loyal customers. So if you want that, and he sort of goes to the map, points at some area in which the good shit is usually distributed. I'd say around here is your best bet. But avoid that street corner right there because um, they pack Uzis. Um, bad, but you go down a bit lower from the 38th. Yeah, I'd say that's the best bet. Drive around, see what's cooking. Literally. Yeah, no one. Okay.
All right, let's go cruising then. Let's see what we can pick up.
Woot woot. Let me grab my pants.
You want to come,
Sort of
Christine?
hurry.
The glance is over.
Yeah, sure. I can be the lookout. Grinning.
Sweet. You know, to be fair, Anton does get guns just in case shit gets hairy. Like he'll bring like the fucking revolver and the shotgun they can put in the backseat, just in case, because you never fucking know at these places.
Oh yeah, Becca tucks her boomstick. Like you do.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna stick that under the seat there. Don't mind that. Right.
To be fair, what's hilarious is Chrissy looks like the most out of place out of Anton, Becca, and Trip.
Hipster AF.
Which they'll never see her coming though.
Because you've got Trip, you've got tattoos, and you've got fucking mafia over there in the background. Just and then you got hipster chick with a hat, like hello, buyer of drugs.
She's the distraction.
I mean, speaking from real life experience, you're gonna want the hipster crowd as well.
It's a new market. We got to expand, Anton.
Yeah. Drugs aren't in the ghetto. They're being gentrified now.
Oh my god.
It's funny because it's true. But anyway.
Believe you, buddy.
Yeah, Trip jumps in. Giddy. Let's just say he's like a school child, like on a school field trip. That's sort of the vibe you're getting from him. Like, we're gonna go to the ghetto. We're gonna get some drugs.
Let's get the right music on for this. There you go. There's the cruising music.
Beautiful.
The cruising music.
Mm-hmm.
Cruising for a bruising.
Let's face it, you know, Anton's driving, smoking the cigarette. Becca's probably in the shotgun. Trip and Christine are at the back. I imagine the three bozos are smoking away. You know what I mean?
Yep.
As Christine's watching, like, this is literally like the Sopranos trailer. Like, what the fuck?
Christine's in the back and she shakes her head and finally pulls out a fucking joint she's been stashed for a while. Like, this is too fucking much for me. Y'all are fucking crazy.
A lighter appears under her spliff. He ain't much of a gentleman, but a joint needs to be lit.
Look, that's all the gentleman she needs right now, so...
Mm.
Yeah, there's an appreciative kind of like, oh, glance. And yeah, she'll light it up and then she can be polite in turn and puff puff pass. What's wrong there, Anton? Someone being nice to your sister in a way you weren't ready for? Being a so-called gentleman?
But never a gentle man.
It was there that Trip realized he was being stared at. No, but we don't
He's
do the
always
group
being
selfie.
stared at.
We don't do the group selfies that we normally do for this.
No group selfie this time?
Oh, fuck it, yeah.
What?
You know, lifts up the picture, takes a picture while we're all in like a plume full of smoke. Christine looks confused, Trip is high, Becca just looks grumpy. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Then it immediately sends it to Susie. As always, as tradition dictates.
Oh, yeah. Look, it's part of the whole process. There has to be a group selfie. And there has to be at least one message back from Becca that's, or not Becca, from Susie that's just the why. Why are you like this? Also, your sister was holding out on me, son of a bitch.
The
But,
truth is revealed.
We will cruise to Roanoke. Roanoke.
Yeah, you guys have a nice half-hour trip to shoot the shit, have your smokes, trip and your sister, get at least a little giddy. It's always nice to be in a good mood when you're about to go do crazy shit.
Always.
Gets itself a little lighthearted. It's okay. If the gentlemanly move wasn't bad enough, the fact that she's giggling at every stupid joke he makes by the time you get there will do the rest.
There is now like 2 eye-sized holes burnt in the back of Anton's chair seats, right back to
Tim's like, oh shit.
He sort of has the joint in his mouth, giggling, looks, sees Anton, and like gulps so hard he swallows it.
Right. He just leans over and gives him a pat.
Fine.
Yeah, so much for the rest of the joint. You finally kind of sit back grinning like you fucking dope.
I guess that makes that an edible.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, unless it just became an inhalable in the worst kind of way.
I mean, I think it's out. Is it smoking from my ass?
Starts the giggling again. Because when you're high, everything's funny.
Very true.
This necessitated a photo change.
That's what the mirror looks like every time Trips looks up. Just sees the burning pair of eyes just eye lock him.
Yeah. True.
So am I actually playing lookout for you guys, or am I like gonna be cruising the am I gonna be slumming it?
Slumming it?
Oh yeah, you told me to check out clubs, right?
Yeah. I mean, do you want to slum it? Or do you want to roll with us?
It's kind of like the big tree, like, I don't know.
I mean, what's more believable, right? These two definitely buying drugs, or the party girl that wants to also buy drugs too?
Yeah, fair. Okay.
Because I very much doubt you can get into a strip club, Christine.
Wait, you don't think I have a fake ID?
You're not 18.
Trip just shits himself. Oh fuck! He slides out the window.
Yeah.
Slides out the window.
Wait, I don't know how old Trip is now. I'm thinking about it, but yeah,
They're all like, essentially every character is at least 16.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
No,
think Christine's
obviously.
17 now, since Anton's 18.
Yeah.
Wait, you're not 18? Kicks open the door and runs down the laneway.
That is literally what he said there.
Hell, not 21. Kind of grins across the back seat like, you fucking crazy? I can't buy booze.
Right, sorry. We're gonna be the youngest gangsters in the world.
I mean, pretty much.
He's gonna be great.
Yeah, you know, we're getting that early start. We're go-getters. Right at time?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And my teacher said I ain't gonna amount to nothing. I'm an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Starts giggling.
Yeah, that.
Entrepreneur trip. Entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to be. Unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Yeah, Anton will just pull up on whatever side street they point him to, just rubbing his face like, oh my god.
Yeah, everyone hops out of the car. And Christine ever so hopefully looks over and is like, so if you want me to pick up drugs, give me money. Does the little grabby fingers, like, come on.
Rolls with his eyes, just fucking reaches into his jacket and fishes her out some cash. Like, there. That's enough for a 50 bag.
And before she can grab it, yoink! Yes, it is.
Swats
Now
him.
let's go.
In fact, why don't we team up so nobody's wandering alone? Trip,
Hey, SWAT.
Trip, keep an eye on my sister. Like, eyes bored,
Right.
that's slow, like, keep an eye on my sister. Nothing else but your eyes, Trip. You know, it's like, that's what he basically says with his eyes, you know what I mean?
And for the first time, I can finally say the GIF is what he's doing when you say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Becky, you're with me.
Yeah, sure enough. Fucking claps him on the back of the shoulder, like, let's do this. Jesus.
Yeah, Anton will just start walking one of the laneways and leave the fucking the fucking Scooby gang.
Yep. For Anton's sake, as soon as they round a corner, it's just like, you really gotta leave them two together? This is great.
Well, if he gets her in trouble, I'll have something to hit him over with.
What happens if she gets him in trouble?
He's a ragabout. She'll have to talk his way out of it. It's his job. Besides, Christine is Christine. She should be a good challenge for him.
Okay. Just all right, buddy. I saw the same thing in the mirror you did, but okay.
Glance over, and if he does anything, I'll fucking kneecap him.
Man, I thought JJ was possessive.
Look. Not possessive. He says possessively. Do you know what I mean?
Totally not. That's not you.
Look. He just points at her like, don't you fucking. Oh.
How's that line go?
Don't you
Don't
come in with your
bring
logic.
facts into this.
What?
How's that line go? Don't you go bringing dirty facts into this?
Yeah, don't you bring logic into this. But if no, he knows the rules.
Oh, is there a sister rule?
There's a sister rule.
Did I miss the declaration of the sister rule?
Look, after JJ's freak out, there's a sister rule.
Oh. Does he
Little does Anton know, Trip is illiterate.
have to, like, Godfather style, come ask for your blessing?
Well, you know what? I'd appreciate if he showed me the respect.
Oh.
That's my sister, man. It's just, you know, I mean, it's not just, it's an unwritten code, man. It's, you know.
He's street enough, he probably would.
Good.
Yeah.
You fucking,
Out the window, one or the other.
you fucking better, because if I catch him in fight, if I catch him, just shakes his head like, "Ugh."
There's a shrug as the two of them head down one way. Meanwhile, Trip and Christine are heading down another. She finally, like, just straight reaches into his pocket to retrieve the cash. She apparently has no boundaries.
Then they will get along famously.
Yeah, if he thought that a pocket was going to save him, he was mistaken. She literally shoves her hand in your pocket, just snags the cash back out, stuffs it in hers.
First of all, rude. Second of all, good finger dexterity.
Do you have any idea how much smaller girls' pockets are? You need manual dexterity just to get into them. Could probably fit a whole fucking...
No, I can't get into women's pants. I've tried. Don't work.
You know, I believe you.
I don't lie.
Yeah, me neither.
Obviously, at least.
Ever.
Right, so where's these scumbags who aren't selling me drugs? Come on,
You're the authority.
2 young adults. It's like should be a fucking neon sign for business, man.
Well, maybe we just have to get to the right place.
Need to find the darkest, dankest alley.
I mean, we're not on the shit side of town. Just needs
That's why this is so difficult.
Come on, you know how they've got like the back parking lots and shit for businesses? They're probably back in places like that.
Right, let's see. What street is this? Sort of looks to the street name.
Yeah, you can crane around and finally pick up a street name. And yeah, you guys are on a half decent side of town. Like you're not exactly in the high dollar district because dude, finding them out there would be like impossible. But this is like the decent walked around side of town, which means you have to know what you're looking for.
But Trip does.
He does.
So he will, after sort of orientating himself for a second, grab Christine's hand and is like, march this way. I smell cocaine. Soon I'll smell cocaine.
Oh my god.
Marches in the opposite direction to, I'm guessing, like, the parking lot of a fucking, I don't know what. Do Walmarts exist in big cities in America?
Walmart's
Or are they?
literally everywhere.
No, but like, are they always? Because I lived in fucking Kansas, but fucking nowhere. Like, they were only always the big, warehouse sort of things in the sort of outside of. But this is like a semi-large city.
Where there'll be the anchor store for a shopping center. In this case, like around Blacksburg, yeah, there's definitely a standalone Walmart.
Yeah, because we're looking for that type of parking lot.
It's like a half Walmart.
Yeah, so he'll march to sort of that. That's the sort of parking lot he's looking for.
As the two of them go on a hunt for Walmart, deeply simplified by the fact that Christine will not hesitate to use her phone to make sure. Trip, of course, is like, I don't need directions. I know.
No.
But... yeah, you can snag her hand to pull her along. She doesn't seem to mind. Not gonna lie, I got all my stuff by word of mouth before.
What you say?
Yeah, Christine, as you're pulling her along, is like, I'm not gonna lie, I got all of my stuff by word of mouth.
Well, yeah, that's how they usually get it, but that's for like house parties and shit. You want the big stuff, they always want you to go to them.
In a Walmart parking lot?
That's where you get the word in.
Oh. She's just like, oh, well, little did I fucking know. Lead on.
You get the word in, they call their guy, they make it sound like you're a big fucking inconvenience and they're giving you a break, like, oh, let me call and see, They always want your business. They just want you to sweat a little bit, grease up the dollar bills. Then you get in the car, you drive to the place, bada bing, bada boom. You don't get shot, hopefully. But if you do, I'll rip somebody's head off.
Effective way to get a proper money flow if you proceed to murder kill all your clients.
Exactly, which is why we won't do that when we take over. We're doing the city a favor, really. Getting rid of all those murder, hobo, drug dealers.
Yep. Seems totally legit. As you guys like round the back of the Walmart. Back in there where there's employee parking. There's always like where the big fucking trucks pull in with product, dumpsters.
Yep. And do I need to roll to check if I see anybody?
I will have you perception streetwise.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Perception streetwise makes sense. That's still 5d10.
And actually, I'll have Anton doing the same thing while he's walking on his side of the main street, as it were.
Oh, the perception street was?
Mhm.
Sure. Just one for me.
That's 3 successes for me. Suck it, Anton.
Oh my god, guys.
Just Anton stops in the middle like, I just got a feeling like Trip insulted me somewhere.
Becca, we're going back. Pump shotgun.
Hold on, I just really need to punch Trip, and I don't know why.
I'll be back.
Primal urge.
Trip! Gotta go.
Like, yep. Oh, would you look at that, Christine? Your brother's here for you and only you. I'm gonna leave you now with him alone. Hi, bye.
Running down the lane.
Bolts the Walmart
She
fence.
just snags his hoodie. Like,
Come with the frog running.
That is exactly what it is.
so, Trip, you've narrowed down your thing. Maybe that's why it's easier for you to spot. Like, it's one of those things where, like, you see people kind of coming in and out from being on break, and there's dude just kind of like hanging out, chatting with him in the parking lot. Doesn't look out of the norm. Doesn't look like he's dressed down. Doesn't look, hella street or anything. It's just a normal looking dude. For Anton's sake, you have one. You're finding like essentially telltales, but you're still narrowing in on where this motherfucker is.
No, he's just walking very calmly with Becca. Just he's not too stressed about it. These things always take time, so he ain't too stressed.
Mm-hmm. Thankfully, she doesn't seem to be in a particular rush either. For before I leap into Trip, she does lean over to Anton. You want me actually showing up and doing transactions, or you want to do them, and you still want me visible because I'm not gonna lie, most of the folks around here gonna know who I am.
You do them, sure.
I'll be what?
You do it, sure. I'll be your muscle. Get you back. I'll be your muscle. Yeah, you're back in the saddle.
Oh, new muscle. Does the little shoulder waggle like, ooh, scandalous.
Anton just nods. Just while subtly flexing because, oh yeah, look at my fucking shit.
Yeah, look at me, Becca.
The fucking shirt rips. No.
Two of you proceed to completely lose the mission as you get into a flex off.
Yotaro.
We should fail. We'll get him next time.
All right. So yeah, you guys are still honing in on about where this motherfucker probably is. Thankfully, Becca has a pretty good sense of it too, so you won't be too terribly long. It'll just take you a little longer than the others.
Yeah, Trip is not in a hurry, but this is his element, and he, as elegant as Trip has ever been elegant, which is saying fuck and all, saddles up to the man, and since I'm really actually kind of awful at this type of stuff on the spot, I'm actually gonna just roll his subterfuge streetwise.
All right. What kind of tactic are you using? Are you giving Christine any gesture to you stay behind?
Yeah, no. She's staying behind, but like making not like, hey, I'm going up at him alone. Like, make sure that he knows we're in like together, so to speak.
It's the whole like,
and
don't worry, I'll go get it. You just wait here, honey, type thing.
Yeah, and he's kind of playing the I know what's going on the street, and I've heard it's good, your stuff.
All right. So what are you? I assume you're just trying to get a transaction, or are you trying to leave a certain particular impression that you want to use subterfuge for? Because, I mean, in the end, you're buying product. You don't necessarily need subterfuge for that unless you are trying to mislead him in some very particular way. So what are you trying to accomplish besides buying product? And I'll give you a roll.
Buy product and make him think it's big business. As much as he looks like he looks, especially with Christine there, he kind of pulls off the I'm a hipster. So maybe the whole like trust fund, we want to hit the real stuff and we've got the money to back it up, like looky here, a piggy bank just came.
Yep. Is he playing it off like he's any more in the know, or like he's just as much of a dopey hipster as she is?
No, dopey hipster, but I've heard your shit's good. Can you prove it? That sort of.
All right. So yeah, you can roll subterfuge.
It's a manip sub, and
I'll
that
do
is.
charisma because this isn't a hard sell. You're just trying to kind of spin it a little bit.
No worries. That's still 7 dice. It's the same as manip. 7 dice. That gives.
Nice.
Ooh.
Really is in his element. Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, so for 4 successes, you managed to buy are you going for a particular kind of product, or are you doing the whole
Smorgasbord?
Yep, that's what I figured. A little bit of this and that. Yeah, so
that depends. How much money do we actually have?
How much did Anton drop him?
Yeah. Enough for about $100, which is enough for like a proper gram, I think, as well. Enough for a gram.
Yeah, that should give you about 1 or 2 grams.
Yeah.
Depending on the quality, I'd say between 1 or 2.
So you talk him around oh yeah, you guys want to, you heard this was the place to go. You had the one friend, but they didn't seem very reliable. And, you heard this was the place to go. And, your other friends have been looking for a new place too. And you know what? You you spin it well enough that the guy does the whole essentially you buy and pay for the harder stuff, and he throws in some of the lighter stuff that he's not profiting off of as much to kind of do the little oh, here, take the it's not a promo, but have a little bit of this on me, just so you can check it out,
Yeah, thinking we're gonna get hooked, not knowing.
Thinks he's reeling in the potential of 2 people who might be trust fund babies and potentially their entire friend circle if he throws in enough for them to share a little bit.
Yeah.
So and absolutely play it off.
And upon getting it sort of place it up a little bit for Christine, and kind of I got it, almost like it might be their first time, but oh my god, we got it, yeah, as he returns to her.
Here's the beauty of it. Let's see how Christine does. Yeah, she is clearly as innocent as the driven snow when it comes to how these things go, and is doing she is. Trip, you turn to come back, and she is doing the most amazing, it's the awkward, oh, I don't want to be impolite, so kind of, hey, but also, I probably shouldn't even be looking at you, and I don't know, what do I do with my hands? She is acing awkward hipster teen in a way that does not even remotely jive with her general behavior.
Yeah. Perfect. And you will sort of head back.
Yeah. You come back over, the 2 of you hook up. She will hook your arm as you come over, and the 2 of you can walk off with your heads kind of together, and I mean, you'll even, for the sake of really selling it, just so you get everything?
Oh, yeah. We're square.
Yeah, a little smile. Of course, the second you 2 round the side of the Walmart again, she eases up a little bit, so.
He's a fucking sucker. But we got in. What I'm interested in, can you keep a lookout, please? Is how this stuff actually is. And he's sort of taking a look around, seeing that nobody's there, puts a little bit in the thumb thing.
He actually gives it a tester.
Of course.
Oh, no. All right, let's see.
what is that stuff? Then it's poison. He dies. Oh
It's not
fuck.
gonna be that bad. All right, it's gonna be a weird roll. Don't mind me. Okay, so what? Basically, getting a whiff of it, and I assume being very familiar with good product versus bad. You'd give this effectively. You'd give this like a maybe a 7 out of 10.
Mm.
It's good shit. It's not like the cream of the crop, but it's actually pretty decent shit.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good start.
Yeah,
Want some?
explains why you didn't get nearly as much as you could have hoped. But then again, you're probably used to dealing with crummier product.
Yeah, Trip comes from selling weed to high schoolers. That was his hustle, really.
Yeah, just glance back. I hear no. Besides, Anton would know I was doing it and would be super pissed. So
And kill me. Yes.
yeah,
Sweet that you're looking out for me.
I'm looking out for myself too. Maybe when I get back, but I haven't. Not gonna lie to you, man. First I've ever done is like Molly.
Oh, but that shit's sweet though.
Well, yeah, but don't tell. She like leans in, like grabs the shirt, like pulls you in, like. But as far as I know, it was the worst I've ever done is weed. Okay.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. You fucking purist driven
Snow.
what is it?
Snow. It's snow.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
He does the whole like zip up his mouth and throw away the key.
she reels it back a little, like, okay, good. Just essentially that look of like, you better see your shit.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm assuming he'll squirrel that shit away, and the two of them can just go walking and talking to eventually reconnect with the other two back towards where the car is. She does it. Oh no. So Anton, your turn.
Yo.
So you and Becca trudging along. Between the two of you, you managed to kind of like as you head along, there's kind of like that moment where she kind of blinks a second, glances at the street sign, and is like, "Oh, actually, I think I know what the closest person is. Hold on a second." And she will, low key, low volume narrative, let you know what group generally uses this end of Main Street,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to know the sick pie?
What?
That church up there.
Yeah.
That's why. Nobody thinks twice about cars in a church parking lot. Assume they're volunteers and shit.
Huh. Just huh.
Oh yeah, fucking dirty.
That is dirty.
Oh, it's filthy. Looks like a charm too.
Oh, bad. Besides, all them church people are filthy anyway, so I bet they love it.
Oh no, that's the best part. They have no fucking clue. But if a couple people, meet up in a church parking lot, who's gonna blink twice?
Just nods. Just gives that Obama not bad face. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they'll call in a drop off over there. We just need to head this way.
Sweet. Well, after you then.
Yeah, this is the smirk. She considers being sassy, but they're by themselves. She doesn't need to be quite as sassy. Anton. She holding back just for you. But yeah, two of you head down the way, get near the area, and yeah, sure enough, sooner or later you'll find someone out just having a smoke.
Anton's gonna let Becca take the lead. He doesn't go, yo, what's up, my G? No, he doesn't do any of that shit. You know what I mean? Go let Becca, the experienced one, do this shit. I am the terrifying motherfucker in the back with muscles and tattoos and probably packing.
Yeah, it's funny because I mean everyone's got their own little gimmick. In this case, Becca like gestures over, was like, "Hey, you got a phone I can borrow? I got a friend supposed to be picking me up over there." Nods over to the church parking lot. The guy kind of goes, kind of glances, nods, and pulls out his phone, puts in the number for her. Just a quick little clickety click click, hands it over, and she dials it, hangs up, gives it back. Like, doesn't bother saying anything, just rings the number, does a little bit of the weight shift as if she's talking. Finally clicks it off. Probably about time either someone picked up or it just ran out of rings. And hands it back over. Gives a little, you know, little salute. Like, thanks, my guy. And just heads over beautifully enough to just go sit at the edge of the church parking lot over by the building and the property. Like, oh, well, I'll just wait here.
Yeah, I'm just chill, sitting there.
Whole thing's pretty simple. We'll see if they still got a decent product because they sure as hell don't have a lot of real estate.
Yeah, we'll give it a look and see what we can find. Looks pretty easy to take already.
I mean, depends on what you mean by take.
Well, higher, if you get me. Aggressively.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, easy enough. Hardpoint's getting back to the cook. They keep that guy under wraps.
That'll be easy.
So sure enough, and it is so great because it is like one of the straight up mom mobiles. Like, this is a soccer mom car. Pulls up into the parking lot. And she hops up. Yeah, goes over, talks through the window for a second. Car turns off, sits in the passenger seat. An exchange takes place. And yeah, Becca pulls out like the roll of cash. She carries her money like Anton does. Just has a fucking roll, snaps the rubber band off. Has the flex of like, oh yeah, there's more where this came from. As she thumbs out enough money. Picks up a bit of product. Has a few words, and soon enough is out of the car. Never closes the door behind her while she's sitting in there. Just leaves it hanging open.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it is a quick exchange. Pretty efficient. And she hops back out. Closes the door. Lets him right off. Hands in her pocket. She's got like that front hoodie pocket where she's shoved the product. That's one down.
Yeah. See that van?
Hmm?
I reckon the next time we make a product deal, one of us tails that van.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I bet they're that basic that they'll lead it back to the cook or wherever it is.
Well, that or whoever they're fucking putting supply. Whoever's passing it out to all the dealers.
Yep, that's probably where it's going to be.
Practically get this shit on delivery. Kind of pats the pocket. But we'll see how it stacks up.
No, it's not a lot. All right, how's it? Glances over. Is it good or?
Yeah, she kind of she finally walks over, sits down, and just reaching into the bag or reaching into her pocket, has you right there next to her, and much like I don't know if like taster inside of the lip is actually a thing. I've only got
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, they do that. I've seen it.
yeah. Just touches a finger in, gets a taste of it, and let's see what she's got. Ooh, Jesus. It's pretty much her reaction too is just, she gives it gives it a quick sample, and I mean the eyebrows kind of pop and everything. It's like, this is actually really good shit.
All right. He'll take out his little notebook and mark, like, essentially he writes down the street. This, do you know what I mean? It's like this territory, like, puts like the especially like 5 out of 5 type of rating. Do you know what I mean?
She basically gives it like, it's not, the chances of it being like 100% pure are pretty low, but it's
No, but in terms of just like, yeah, basically he's like top priority, underline, like he underlines that one. You know what I mean? Like this one's good. You know what I mean?
All right, let's make sure the kids aren't dead.
Yeah, I mean I can do that easily. Just in Trip's head, Trip.
Are you there, Raz? It's me, God.
Fuck me, I was muted. You get back a message. Trip's not in the office right now, but if you want to leave a message, please speak after the beep. Beep.
You got about 10 seconds to answer me before I come over there and shoot you in your dick.
He imitates the sound of a phone getting picked up. Buddy, friendo.
That's on.
pal.
Hey!
He just aggressively thinks of the sound of a phone picking up.
That's on. Hey! You guys doing good?
Fredo.
You guys doing good?
Yeah, we got the kush.
And we tried some.
We're
we
waiting
found
back
some-
at you.
We found some where we're at, and it's Becca says it's top quality.
Oh shit, don't use it up all.
No, I mean we'll explain more on the way. We think we can track the place pretty easy. They do it by van or some shit. Oh, hang on, we're coming back.
Huh?
Yeah, he'll walk back to the car with Becca after like probably the two of them playfully teasing each other as they always do.
Oh yeah, actually pretty chill. Go figure. Becca is actually doing her best to hold good and not totally wall up when it's just the two of them. So yeah, there's chit chat, there's banter, there's stupid shit. She stops in at the like one of the little places on the way back, gets a Slurpee.
Oh, fuck it, he grabs one as well.
So that they can come back. She, better yet, she gets a Slurpee and then she gets like the ridiculous little like fucking corner store shades.
That's how you do it.
So the best part is Trip and Christine head back to the car, having done their duty and being like, being efficient about it. And Becca and Anton come up the street with like their ridiculous brightly colored Slurpees. Becca's got these like absurd, horrible, cheap shades on.
Let me just.
That is so not fair. You did not give us money enough for Slurpees. He's also sitting on the hood, by the way. Legs crossed.
Just a sassy leg cross.
Yeah, Christine's probably got like the butt prop against the hood. And the immediate childish fucking backlash. She starts snickering again.
On there now.
Jeez, you think you can trust people nowadays?
Did you get any snacks while you're in there? I'd kill for some Cheetos right now.
Oh god. Yes.
That's beautiful.
Oh, don't worry. I have cool Anton Shades pictures as well. I'm ready. I came prepared, Katie.
I was not prepared. Little did I know.
He's just like, no, I'm sorry, we got Slurpees. Eases in, opens the car door.
As he's
We'll
getting in, that
We'll
she's
stop by fucking Wendy's on our way back.
oh my god, yes. Like she goes to go for the Slurpee, and it's like you offer to placate her with Wendy's, and she's like, okay. Ups in the back. Becca's fucking dying.
Trip saddles in again.
Yeah, get yourself buckled up, knucklehead. Glancing back at him. With
Calling
the
knucklehead.
shades. What do you say?
Sorry,
You're
I was
calling
giggling.
Knucklehead.
I was giggling. Zoom in. Sorry.
Well, I can't call Anton Knucklehead. He's, the boss and all. And I can't call Christine Knucklehead, seeing as she's his kid sister.
Oh,
So,
I see. Okay.
process of elimination, man. Let me see what you got. Yeah, as he's settled in, doors closed, they're pulling out, sticks the hand back.
Yeah. He sort of slaps the thing into her hand, you know?
What is this? Like the party pack of samples? Like
Hey,
she gets the bag, like, oh.
sometimes having a sweet ass gets you things in life. What can I say?
Do you have to give it to him?
Was not
To him?
talking about your sister, Anton. My ass is sweet enough on its own. No offense, turns to Christine.
The best part is like her acceptance is just like, so did you have to give it to him or just show it to him? Didn't even think twice about it being Christine. The fucking piece, but it's that much better.
Boys got style and a kiss on the first date. If
No.
I can avoid it.
A lot of shit on the first date. Kissing doesn't seem like your thing though.
No,
That's
doesn't
why I
really
don't do it.
doesn't.
Glance over to Anton.
Dances back. You know what I mean? Pulls the shades that like that shade look essentially. Is that any good? Or
So what you got?
we got this shit. We pass it over.
Ooh, happy birthday to me.
You put that whole baggie up your nose, and I am gonna.
My mom taught me to share. Actually, she didn't, but I did. So you know. And we will dab a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good shit. Like 9 out of 10. Good shit.
Shit, you can keep my stuff. I'm keeping this.
But that place comes from, it's off the street. They use a van to collect it once they make the delivery. So my reckon is the next time we go collect it, follow the van. We follow them straight to least where the supply is, Becca reckons.
And for Trip, I'll give you, based on your earlier Streetwise roll and all, you've heard of these guys before. It's one of the things where one of the ways they've survived is they don't have shit for muscle and they don't have a whole lot of real estate. But most other groups can't pull off like looking inconspicuous around a church. And thing is, the guy who connects you to the drop off, he's slippery. He is really slippery. And since there's not like necessarily a single established spot to find him, it is like people have tried knocking him over before. They're just, because there's such a small operation, so few people, they're really hard to get your hands on. That's how they survived this long.
Yeah, sweet. Until
It's
they
familiar.
met actual werewolves. No, he'll like relay this information that he knows, back to the group. Like, oh, you said that street, isn't that where? And sort of lists it off.
So
Guess I
realistically,
never
what?
thought.
We should just follow them or some shit.
Well, shit, people's failed to follow them, but we ain't people, are we? So
Nope.
Yeah, they've picked up the moniker of the Saints just because they always tend to pick places like churches, playgrounds, places that they can be inconspicuous and no one else can pull it off.
nah, they're hard to find, but they ain't much of a fight if you get them. So I'd say
Well,
we hit the jackpot right here.
all right. So what? They go by churches, playgrounds, all right?
Yeah, all these places you don't expect to find them.
All right. We'll start narrowing it down. See if what we can find. What time they turn up at? Because I imagine they don't just. I imagine they change churches each time, but I imagine they have a set line of this place, this place, this place. So once we figure out the pattern, we follow the van, find out where they stop off for the supply, and then once we do that, well, things get shockingly easy.
Or you can leave that up to me. I can keep an eye out on these places. That Scooby-Doo mansion is giving me the heebie-jeebies, to be honest. Need some fresh fucking air.
All right. Once you find out where it is, radio Becca, then her, you, me. I'll probably bring JJ or Jason just for the fucking firepower. We'll recruit.
Recruit. He's just sort of tapping the side of his head.
Exactly. I mean, either they say yes or, well, shame.
Fucking shame.
Once that's done,
Nah,
I
these
want
guys
you
are smart though.
just nods. Once that's done, I want you to get a tablet of the percentage of what cash they're going to be making for us. Dock it to Christine, and she'll work out the actual maths details.
Right, Rooney. And takes one last hit before giving it back to Anton.
Pass it over to Becca. See what you can do in terms of at least replicating it, maybe. If worse comes to worse.
I still got a little lab kit around. Dad's actually better at it than I am. Thing
Yeah,
is,
just
you need
pass.
the stuff to actually cook. These guys probably already have a line to it.
Well, we'll figure out the line, but see what you can replicate off of it at least. So, if worse comes to worse, we can at least remake it.
You're eventually gonna have to look at them all, see if they're clean anyways first.
Oh yeah, just pass it off to Jane.
Yep. Ain't no
All
thing.
right. Good. So Trip, you know the job. This guy jerks his head like, go on. Do you want to come back with us, or do you want to get working now?
I'm gonna need about $35.
It's like an eyebrow raise.
Specifically 35.
He sort of like has his hand out expectantly, like, "You want me to work?"
All right. Hands it over, but I expect $70 back.
Alright, fine. And he pops the door open and literally jumps out, like, whee!
Yeah, it's just a later.
Smell you later, alligator. He hears the door closes.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Anton will stop at Wendy's
Hell yeah. Christine is thrilled.
and head back to the Batcave. But I
Yeah.
do have to go, so I will jump out and you can wrap up Reprise.
Alrighty. So, Mr. Tripp, is there anything particular you would like to accomplish while you're out there?
No, he'll just go on the mission. Probably activate blur of the milky eye and keep an eye on him.
Oh yeah, when you finally find the guy, he looks like he looks like a dad. Like, he just looks like someone's fucking dad. He doesn't look like anything in particular.
Yeah. He just sort of shakes his head like SMH. It's like, criminals these days have like no class. You gotta look the part. Gotta be cool.
Yes. He doesn't seem to have any respect for the look that you
The
go for.
aesthetic.
The aesthetic.
But yeah, no. He'll get to work. I think that's it for Trip.
All right.
Moment.
Well, then for now, we'll call it here. We'll go over some of the stuff in Blue Booking, see what you managed to get as a result. And for now, call it a day.